Hello everybody and welcome to the final episode of Food Wars Shokugeki no Soma anime review. Not just the final episode of this season, the final episode ever, full stop. And you know what? I've had a lot to say about this season, but it ended okay, didn't it? It wasn't a complete train wreck of an ending. I'm okay with that. Could have been better, yeah. Could have been a heck of a lot worse. I think I was pretty alright with the ending we got overall. Yeah, sure, there are some things that I would have liked to happen that didn't. Soma fighting his dad, Soma properly getting with Erina, but they basically did that. You know, it's a basically thing happened. I think I am satisfied. You know, overall with the whole season, not a chance. But with just this ending chunk, I think I'm all right with it. So how this is going to go? We're going to talk about the episode briefly, and then after that, we're going to talk about this season as a whole. I was going to talk about the whole series, but it's so, you know, all over the place with, you know, most of it's pretty good, and then you got season 5 is how I'd describe the whole series of Food Wars. But we'll talk about the whole season at the end, and basically, we'll go from there. But anyway, first, let's get into the episode. We continue where we left off with Erina about to fall prey, fall victim to the storm going on. All that's left for them is like, oh, you know, the curse that they've been born with the god tongue because their future is looking pretty bleak, you know. And then who shows up? It's your boy Soma, Yukihira Soma, drinks her sauce, says that's a bit crap, love, and then knows what dish he's going to make. He's like, I'm going to wake you up, I'm going to wake you the heck up, Erina, with my really good food I'm going to make. And his dish he's making, he's not making his dish to win the whole thing. He's making his dish just for Erina to wake her up. The tournament is secondary at this point to Soma, which is, he's like Ash Ketchum. He'll never win a tournament. That's basically, yep, Soma is Ash Ketchum. Oh, he won, didn't he? Soma is almost Ash Ketchum. Literally everyone is watching, like all the characters, like pretty much everyone is watching Soma finish his dish that he does. What is his dish? It's a tempura bowl, which, remember that from earlier? I didn't, but it's a thing that happened earlier. What else? He made one for Erina as well to eat, because obviously, well, no, I'll rephrase that. He made one for Mana also to eat. He made this for Erina. Let's not sugarcoat it. We know what he was doing. It's got Egg Benedict in it, like she did back at the training camp. Was that season 1, I think? That was a long ass time ago. Like, I can't remember that far back. Crazy. It actually, like, looking back at it like that, it's like, damn, it has been a long time, hasn't it? It's been a good long ride. They eat it. It's delicious, obviously. They go through how good he had to be to make this. It's like, dude, he had to be such skilled to make this egg fried without ruining the shape or something. I don't know cooking very well, if you couldn't tell. He was researching since he got thrashed at the training camp on how to make his dish better and everything. And then it makes sense. All he wanted to do was to make her, Erina, say, delicious, finally. Remember, since the first episode, that's been the goal for Soma, really. And Soma tells her she's forgotten who she's cooking for. She's not cooking, you know, she's cooking for her mum. Remember that and do it. Erina just wants her mum back, so she, you know, that's really what she is. She wants her mum to come back and, like, want to eat her cooking. And it's like, oh, I like it. Erina's had it tough. I can't believe I didn't like her very much at the start. Like, she's really, it's not even that she's grown on me. They've forced her to grow on me by making her a better person, basically. And I'm okay with that. It's good. It's good. I'm not going to complain. Soma, I'm not going to say he threw the match, because his dish was still very, very good. But his goal here wasn't winning. His goal was making Erina a credible opponent, I guess. The gifting starts up again from both Erina and Mana. It's surpassed the divine gifting. This one doesn't actually remove your clothes, it just makes you feel like your clothes are removed. We didn't need about 7 different variants on the gifting, but whatever, I guess. It's fine. They made an actual explosion after that. They blew up the top of the building. All the repairs that's going to take. They were like, the building's disrobed. I'm like, no, you just made an explosion, mate. That's all you've done. Erina says it was disgusting again after all the build-up, and then she's like, compared to what I'm about to make, it is going to be disgusting. And Soma gets this smirk like, there we go. There's the Erina we know and love back. The path is to cook for one person. As Joichiro said, Mana also comes to that conclusion. And that's, now that's what Erina's doing for her mum. Back to their normal bickering. They're back and forth as they do. It's nice to see at this point, he's never going to stop cooking until she says delicious. And yeah, that's basically it, isn't it? Like, it's sort of like Mana and Azami, almost, but it's a lot more playful. There's no despair going to be felt here for Soma and Erina, because Soma does so much mad stuff. Finally made his own dish. He says, like, he's not just borrowing, he's made a dish that he can fully call, this is Soma Yukihira Soma's trademark dish, I guess. And then they end it with them saying, let's butt heads, and they got this cool stare down thing going on. It was very good. Big fan I am of Soma getting Erina back to normal. Like, she's been so moody these last few episodes. Good to see she's back to relative normalcy now. What's that? You wanted to see the result of the tournament and see what Erina was going to make to surpass Soma? Well, too bad. No. We go straight to a celebration at the dorm. Turns out, yeah, Erina won. We don't know what she made or how she won. But she won. Fine, it was kind of a bit of a weird decision there. Like, why would you not show the ending, Instead they go to the aftermath, I guess. Soma tells Dad that he's got to train more before he takes over the diner, and Joichiro's just like, you can have it, bro. Like, you're definitely ready. You came second. That's nothing to scoff at. And he's like, no, I'm ready when I say I'm ready, Dad. Cougar and Ishiki were following Noir. Well, actually, no, all of the old Elite 10 were following Noir and taking them out in their own way. They had the dock attack from a lot of them. Rindo and that were doing something over there. Tsukasa was basically a distraction. They're all over the place dealing this stuff. Erina had, before we get to that, Azan, who was the one behind this whole plan. The plan was not to destroy Noir, it was to save them. So basically, turn them back to the path of good, and so they'll be chefs, but good chefs now. So I guess they did that. They saved everyone. Hooray! Would have probably liked to see more of that, like, as opposed to it just being mentioned, like, at the very end, like, oh yeah, and then they also did all this during that, Was it, like, cancelled or something? Like, was there more planned? Or, like, not more planned, but was it meant to be expanded on or something? Because it feels like they got stuff cut down. I don't know if the manga's like that, or if they just cut it for the anime, but that's what it feels like to me anyway. Erina had something important to do at home, so she couldn't make it to the celebration of Soma's second place, and I guess it would have been her first place as well if she had been there. And then Soma, he's disappeared. He left a note saying, yeah, I'm going to train overseas. It's like, bro, couldn't you just wait till the celebrations were over? You bailed on your own celebrations. I thought at first he was going to go see Erina, but then it was like, by the way, I'm going to be training. I'll be gone a few months. I'm like, what? You're allowed to go train, but that's very abrupt. You know what, it is very Soma, though. It actually makes some sense now that I'm saying it out loud. Very, very Soma-ish thing to do. We go to Erina, who welcomes Mana back into the household because she's back and she's going to eat her food forever. It's going to be good stuff. They're bickering, butting heads, but in like a happy way. It's nice to see. It's not like as harsh as it was way earlier on now. Azumi is also home. He came to say goodbye because it turns out Azumi, when he was all sad, he just knocked up some random woman. You can probably see where we're going with this. So yeah, Asahi is Azami's son. That he just knocked up some random woman. He wanted to leave the Nakiris because he's got to go look after he's got to go look after Asahi because he left him alone for all that time. Almost admirable, but, I don't know how I appreciate... Azami did some pretty rotten stuff. I don't know if I could actually see, like, does he deserve a happy end? Not a... You know what I mean? It's just a bit like, oh, come on. Erina's not cool with that, though. Erina, instead of letting Azami go to Asahi, she's just like, well, we'll just have Asahi come here. That makes more sense. So they go get Asahi and the other members of Noir as well, it turns out. And yeah, they come home and they have one big happy family cookout. It's pretty weird. And I'm just sitting here like, man, imagine simping over a girl for 12 episodes and then in the last 3 minutes finding out she's your half-sister. Sorry, Asahi. Feels bad, man. Hey, Sarge is there, so go get that, I guess. But the important thing is happy Nakiri family. For once, they're finally a happy family again. Everything worked out. Erina's the protagonist, really, isn't she? Like, when you think about the arc she's been on, Soma's just been the supporting character for Erina. I figured it out. I figured it out, guys. Then we cut to 6 months later with Soma returning home from his travelling, his training, his overseas trip. Erina's waiting at his diner for him because he asked her to. Okay, I guess. And she's all annoyed. She's annoyed basically because he left without much notice, basically. She's being a bit sun about it. Then she basically admits that she likes him. She's like, your food and you yourself are what my heart longed for. I'm like, that's the closest we're getting to a bloody confession here, and I will take that. Today's the day he's going to make her say delicious. Everybody else shows up to say hello. Soma gives them some bad food, and they all like, that's disgusting. That's gross. What are you doing, man? And then he's like, all right, the next one will be the delicious one. And then we just end. Thank you for watching. Glad you enjoyed it. Get a nice picture, which is probably in the background. I don't know. I haven't done it yet. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of Food Wars. That's the ending. It was pretty alright, I thought. I know I'm pretty not underwhelmed, but it was like yeah, okay, you know. And it was okay, you know. Yes, would have liked to see even maybe some aftermath epilogue type stuff, like maybe here's what happened in 10 years time, you know, maybe. But maybe that's asking a bit too much. Who knows? Hey, they could include it in like the Blu-ray or something. They could do like a little 5-minute short. I don't know. I haven't read the manga. I don't know how that ends. Is it the same? It's probably the same, right? Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm not. The end of this season is definitely safe. Like, it started okay, and then the end 2-3 episodes were alright as well. But that's still a massive chunk in the middle I wasn't a fan of, which we'll get to in a minute. But first, what was my favourite part of the episode? So my favourite part of the episode is quite bluntly Soma snapping Erina back to it. It would have sucked if Erina had stayed moody for that was the ending. She's moody now, but no, snapped her back to normal. It was good, you know. Even if it cost Soma the game, I feel like that was more important was to get Erina back to normal. And yes, that it was. And Soma's dedicating his cooking to Erina now because he wants her to say delicious. Which, okay, we got to keep Soma's dense anime protagonist thing up a little bit more. But hey, they'll probably get together at some point. They'll have it off screen. It's fine. It'll definitely happen, right? I don't know. As I said, not read the manga. But yeah, that was definitely my favourite part, I think. And then Mana also realising, I see now, you know. Through them, she's like, I see what the future holds. Yeah, that was quite good too. This episode, I thought it was a decent finale, you know. It still hits you a little bit when you sit down and you're like, Food War's been going on, what, 5-6 years? How long's it been? 5 years, the anime? And it's like, and it's over. You know, it's 80 plus episodes, probably. And yeah, just a little, you just sit back a little bit and you're like, yeah, okay. That was a ride we went on. That was a journey, and it was good. I enjoyed that journey a lot. End of an era, in a way. I think just the fact that it is the end, I think I have more positive things to say about this episode than most, because I'm a person that quite likes an ending. I don't like it when stuff just hangs in limbo. You know, I like getting to the end of something and be like, okay, now let's put a full stop on that. You know, although while I liked the ending, let's talk about the season as a whole, because I can definitely tell you I did not like the season as a whole. The start was alright before we got proper into it. The end was alright when it focused more on Erina and Soma. That was okay. So Asahi is pretty much my biggest problem with this show, if I'm being honest. Like, random love rival out of nowhere, and Soma's just like, you can't be doing that. I got business with that. What is it? I got business with that mouth of hers, and it's like, Soma, that sounds so wrong. Don't be doing that. His cross knives was stupid overpowered and ruined the show. I'm gonna be honest. All the supernatural bollocks like that, and then the stupid ways that Noir were cooking. That whole middle chunk with Noir, where they were just battling them, I was just not a fan of it. I know some people might have been like, nah, the over the top stuff's all right, and I'm just like, no, it's just a no from me. Sorry about that, but I guess it worked out in the end. You know, it did sort of work out in the end. I'm still trying to decide exactly where I'm sitting on the scale. I think I've got to go somewhere in the middle for this season because it had its all right points and it was the final conclusion. I still stand by what I said when you could have ended it at the end of season 4 and you wouldn't have, you know, that was still a fine ending. Maybe take some bits from this ending and stick it on there and you would have had an all right ending, I think. I don't think you really needed this. I feel like that's the thing. I think this arc was for the most part unnecessary. I think the Erina and Soma stuff at the end was all right, but I feel like you could have gone away. You don't need Noir, you don't need Azahi to make a decent ending, you know? Just feels a bit meh, you know? It was okay though. Like I said, not too sure what I think. I think overall I was disappointed with the season as a whole, but the ending sort of brought it back around for me. That's where I'm going to go with that. So yeah, this is it. The end of Food Wars. Here's a fun game. Let me know in the comments what your favourite moment from the whole series was. Because that's a fun game and it's like memory lane it'll be like. If you enjoyed this review, leave a subscribe and stuff for more reviews. Like it. I will post a video at some point saying what I'm doing for the next season. That'll be fun. I don't have too much stuff that I want to watch, but there's some stuff on there which is good. I will see you in whatever you decide to watch next. Take care. Glad you enjoyed it, as Soma says. They all said it at the end. It was very impressive, very incredible. Take care, and bye, guys.